Hey, how y'all doing today? I am in the root room working on getting orders out, and I wanted to talk to you just briefly about reading and magic. Okay? I'm going to turn my back here for a minute because I got to get a scoop. I'm scooping out herbs. But, I put out the bone reading class this 2 days ago, I think, and it's almost sold out. Now, what I will tell you is, very specifically, this thing's going to make a really annoying noise when I turn it on my scale. What I will tell y'all about that is that I was very, very clear in my instructions. Y'all have to understand, I understand how people feel they're paying customers. When you're paying for a tangible item, okay, hey Jay, hey B, when you're paying for a tangible item, my responsibility is to get you this item. When it comes to classes, especially in the areas of Black people's magic, I don't have to teach you. The instructors that I hire don't have to teach you. It is a privilege, as it was a privilege for me to learn magic from my mentors. I had to listen. I had to do what they told me to do. Nothing that was, anything incorrect. But you have to listen. If you're going to be a student and you're going to study magic, I'm pouring, these are the best things for your herbs, is these canning funnels, by the way. That's a free tip for you. Keeps your herbs from falling all over the table. But, I've seen this argument in lots of magical conversations. People saying, oh, I don't have to know how to, I don't have to learn magic from a book. People, for laziness, take the academics out of magic. Clearing up one particular irritation that I have, and that is that, and I always make sure to wipe out my implements with alcohol. So, like, if I'm doing another herb, I'm pouring another dry object into another jar, alcohol 90%. Yeah, we don't have to teach anybody any goddamn thing. And what I ain't gonna do is teach people that don't read. I have a lot of instructions when it comes to preparing for my class. Number one of those being that somebody pays attention and downloads the Zoom application when they are registering. Because when my classes, especially the ones for people of color, you have to have a webcam. Okay? Ones that require divination for you to attend, you damn well better have a webcam, because it's all day. And it's hands-on usually. So, keeping that in mind, when I posted the instructions to register for the bone reading class as being taught by another instructor, the prerequisite set by the instructor, not myself, but I think it's a good one, was that, doing mugwort right now, sending it to a client, the instructions were such that you were to have taken 101 already, or purchase it because it was offered as an option, because I didn't want to squeeze nobody out, okay? It was offered as an option when you purchase the bone reading class. So what does one of my students who has actually taken a magical mentoring session, or at least scheduled one with me, what do? They buy the bone reading class and they haven't taken 101. So here I go. I know I've got maybe 1 or 2 spaces left in the class. And what I really, really wanted to do was to give the instructor, because I trust her impeccably, the payments for her class prior to Christmas. You know, it's the holidays. People like money. I can't, and if I do it, you know, there's processing fees involved. So I prefer to do it in a one transaction situation. I'm not taking a cut for this course. Well, you better get it. This is about what we got left. I'm going to have to do a major reorder at the beginning of the year, but it's Christmas. I ain't spending no more money right now on no big shipments. So if you need mugwort, buy it today. If you're in my customer group, there's an additional incentive. If you're not, oh well. So I'd call this person and be like, you do realize that 101 is a prerequisite for this course. She said, yes. I'm like, well, my records, yeah, I've been an educator for 20 years. I've been doing online learning for, online learning, education, training, professionally for 20 years. I know how to write instructions so that students can read them and understand them. I am a human being, so hit the last of our Blue Lotus going out here. Being an instructor, I know how to give directions. I am not new on the block. I'm not 5 minutes old. And I know, and if I want y'all to go to my website and let me know if there's anything on that website that says that you don't have to take 101 and that we would be checking registration records. I have a whole e-commerce solution. I ain't here to play. I'm running a business. So, of course, you know, I'm going to make sure that this person has registered for this course. Person has not registered for this course. And so I called said person. I said, have you been to college? Because I don't know any school that lets you sign up for a course that requires a prerequisite if you have not satisfied that prerequisite. Now, unfortunately, my system does not allow me to shut people out who have not registered. So, you know, like I said, here I am thinking I'm being really clear, okay, real clear in my directions. And so basically that's stopped what I was trying to do. It's halting me sending the payment to the instructor, and it's causing me some real issues with it. And I don't really think that's cool. I think that's really not cool. There is a lot of advanced knowledge that goes, thank you. I really thought I did. There are a lot of things in magic, and literally I have seen, and one of the first admonitions that I've ever received from people that are experienced in the practice of magic is that if you don't follow directions very well, you will fuck yourself up. I really get tired of dealing with students who don't listen, who don't read, and I don't have to teach you. I want to teach people who are at a place in their lives. That is why I have taken all of the Hoodoo 101, the Hoodoo 201. I've taken it totally virtual. Because I've had way too many people in my house that don't listen. Because if they listened, they would have understood that there was a certain amount of fuctitude that I was not going to tolerate in my home. And it's very upsetting. I thought about it this morning when I was in my laundry room, washing clothes. And I was like, you know, it's really sad that I can't feel comfortable having people here in my house. Divination can say they can come. You know, man, maybe you should ask, should they come? But just because divination says somebody should come to your house does not mean that it's a good thing. What I've learned from allowing certain people into my house and having, weighs too much. There we go, perfect. It gets bad when you know that this bag weighs 0.1 ounces. So You know how much your bags weigh in your scale. But it's gotten to the point where I am no longer comfortable opening my home to the public. Now, as magical practitioners, yeah, we do certain things to word our homes and things like that. It's not really a magical issue because I just tell folks like this, try me if you want to. It's not even a magical thing. I'm not worried about somebody's, the funky ass energy or whatever. But what I am greatly concerned about is when people make my other attendees uncomfortable because they don't know how to act. And then the people that are here are cheated. And so I can't risk that. I can't risk one asshole that may even have a try to put a PayPal case against me. It's happened. Because they decided that they weren't enjoying themselves and wanted to leave. Or have somebody who really came here and was anxious to learn have a situation where they couldn't because of the people that were here. So with a lot of regret, there's one student who couldn't make it, who's in the military, who will be allowed to come to my home for 201. That's right. You've been here, Tiffany. You know how it goes. It only takes that one goddamned fool to ruin it for everybody. It also takes a fool to ruin a teacher-student relationship. Okay? In this community, if you can find a reputable teacher, scholar, better respect them. I mean, and I'm not just talking about because I'm a mambo. There are a lot of respected, non-initiated practitioners here who offer classes. Yet and still, I'll carry my ass into one of these sorry ass groups and hear people wail about how there is nobody black to teach them. And I call bullshit on it every single time. Any person of color can take my courses. But in order to be successful, there's a couple things at play here. You got to be ready. This is spiritual work. This is not for the scared, the meek, and the low self-esteem. See a therapist. And I'm not saying that jokingly. I can't tell you how many people I do readings for that I have directed to mental health services. Part of what I do for a living is write courses for future psychologists, especially community psychologists and early childhood education. Okay? So I kind of know what I'm talking about. I've been at that job for 10 years. Okay? 10 years. I think. No, 8 years. 8 years. So when somebody needs therapy, I pretty much have a good idea of it. There are certain things that you can check off on checklists when people are psychologically evaluating people to determine whether or not a person has an issue. There's a method to this. It's not soft science. When a person displays certain things, that's how people evaluate people for potential mental health issues. So understand, yes, people are natural witches. Some of us have the ability to do spells and they're successful, and that's just our thing. Not everybody is a natural witch. Not everybody is a psychic. I can't sing. I can't dance. Take my black card if you wanna. But I can write. I can read. And I damn sure can practice a spell. And no, I'm not going to post spell work on Facebook and social media for everybody to see. When you see people doing that, they're really probably not doing much of anything. Or they're trying to get clients. The work, if I show any of my work, it's in a class, it's private, it's not recorded, and it's work that I have done years ago. It's nothing I have currently in process. Used for educational purposes only. I don't share client work on Facebook or Twitter or any other social media apparatus. So in order to learn from me and actually see these things, You have to be my student. And if you don't want to be my student, I could give a goddamn less. I really can. I do not care about being the teacher. One of the reasons why I said I was only going to teach people of color in the future was because what I saw as this cultural appropriation is people going and picking up ancient closed practices of African peoples and then going off and doing their own thing. And I never, ever, ever, ever wanted anyone to say that I was their teacher. That's why I stopped teaching. One of the reasons, the main reason. I don't want to be attributed to other people's fuckery. And I promise, swear to God, if I see any of my students out here in these streets doing some shit, I will disown you. And I will tell everybody I don't know that person. And you also have to understand that when you take a class from me, this is my opinion. This is hoodoo according to the way Liz was taught, Liz researched, Liz spirits led her to do. I don't teach you voodoo. I don't even talk about voodoo online. I'm initiated. There are closed systems with secrets. I don't talk about those things. But herbal magic and herbal practices, and I am going to teach it from a non-African perspective because there are people that want to know this information. And I have a person who has studied herbs that I think I'm going to ask to teach the course if she feels that she's ready. She's taking herbology training. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to have you as my student or put you in the classroom with a guest instructor if you don't read. Remember last night, if you didn't watch last night's Facebook Live, you might want to do that. It's about being tested. And what a lot of people don't seem to understand, especially about the registration for classes on my website, is that's your first test. Can you follow directions? Grown-ass people follow directions. Read a book. Yes, read. It can only increase your reading skills. You become a better reader by reading more. You go in somebody's house and they ain't got nan book in that motherfucker. Don't trust them. I wouldn't trust myself to cross the street with a person that didn't have any fucking books in their house. And I've been in houses with people who don't. There's nothing European about education. There's nothing European about paying attention, being respectful, and reading. Not a goddamn thing. So I suggest you don't have to take my classes. Like I said, I teach them from the privacy of my own home. If I don't have a class to teach, I most definitely have an order to fill. But I think that a lot of people who, especially these people who are flying from teacher to teacher to teacher in class and reader to that, don't have the proper respect for the gift that they are actually being given. And anybody like that can kiss my ass. Have a nice day.